We are live.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for the warm welcome on this platform. Really grateful. Um, and let's get started. In the spirit of celebrating our unsung heroes and heroines, I would also like to share a story of a remarkable voice that helped shape the Quit India movement in 1942. So, the title of the story is The Underground Voice of 1942. So, as we listen to the story, the mystery of the underground voice will be revealed. And maybe you can also figure out who the mystery voice is. So, I have written this story and I present to you this using a read aloud. So, without further ado, I'll get started with the story. So many of us have seen the spy thrillers. One just recently, Dhurandhar 1 and 2. These movies or these thrillers show us the incredible sacrifices that these secret agents have made or have been even making. So today, I would like to share one such story of an unsung hero who was a secret agent and who played an instrumental role in Quit India movement in 1942. She was a freedom fighter, but she never carried a gun or a sword. Her weapon of choice was a radio transmitter. She is affectionately remembered as the radio sister of India, and some people even call her Radio Ben. So we always think that revolutions are built on battlefields. But this story tells us that India's freedom was kept alive inside a 8-watt radio transmitter. The story begins in a quiet, dust lined village in Gujarat named Saras. It was 1928, and a 8-year-old Usha stood watching a massive crowd protesting against the British Simon Commission. Inspired by the energy, the little girl ran into the street, locked her hands with the other children, and shouted her first rebellion words. And they were, Simon, go back. Simon, go back. Deepa, please can you share the first picture? Her father was a judge under British rule. He tried to steer her away from that political rally, but she shook her father's hands and ran back in there. The seed of patriotism had already been planted. This is Usha when she was 8 years old. At the age of 5, after seeing and hearing Mahatma Gandhi for the first time, this little child made a quiet childhood vow that she would dedicate her life and path to truth and nonviolence. And you won't believe it, it continued till she was till her end of the story. So this was her childhood. Fast forwarding this story to August 8th, 1942 in Bombay. Imagine absolute silence and feel the tension in the air. A sea of people waiting in dead silence. Mahatma Gandhi stepped up to the microphone and delivered his thunderous call for action: do or die. These three simple words were spoken one day before the Quit India movement. That was, Quit India movement started on August 9th. These words were spoken on August 8th. These words made the British government panic. They did not know what was going to happen. Before dawn, on August 9th, 1942, police raided the homes across the Bombay city, arresting Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and every major leader of the Indian National Congress. By sunrise on August 9th, the crackdowns had begun. Press censorship was strictly imposed. Newspapers were forbidden from reporting on arrests and protests. There was a total blackout of information across the country. The British believed that by cutting off information and communication to the layman, the movement would crumble. What they didn't realize was there was someone there plotting her next move to save the movement and the country. So, who was she? She was none other than Dr. Usha Mehta. Usha was now all grown up. She was a 22-year-old law student at Wilson College. And she had the same principles of truth and nonviolence. She was standing there when all these things were happening, when there was a total blackout of information, and she realized the brutal truth that if the people would not know what is happening, the movement would die in the dark. So Usha came up with a plan and she executed it immediately. She gathered a small circle of her trusted friends and she proposed her bold idea to them. She told them, let's build our own radio station and broadcast all the information to the public. This way, all the people will be able to get the information and the movement will remain alive. Her friends believed in her, and here they started their voice of resistance. They scraped every penny they had and tracked down a very clever radio technician. His name was Nariman Printer. Working in secret, Nariman sneaked individual parts of the radio transmitter across the city. All together, they assembled a high-powered radio transmitter. And they did all this in an apartment overlooking Bombay Chowpatty Beach. This apartment was provided to them by one of their friends who was a merchant. Deepa, please can you share picture 3? On August 27th, 1942, shock waves rippled across the nation. People tuning on to their radios heard static crackles, suddenly followed by a clear and confident female voice cutting through the noise. This is Congress radio calling on 42.34 meters from somewhere in India. The Congress radio was born. So this picture is the radio transmitter that Usha and her friends had created. From that day onwards, that is from August 27th onwards, the airwaves exploded. Congress radio started broadcasting uncensored news, reports of police crackdowns, secret speeches by underground leaders, and messages straight out of prison cells. Usha and her team had become the beating heart of the Quit India movement. This made the British furious. Immediately, the cat and the mouse game had begun. British signal tracking vans circled the streets of Bombay day and night, desperately hunting for the source of the frequency 42.34. To stay one step ahead, Usha and her team lived on the move. Almost daily, they dismantled this heavy copper transmitter packed it into steel trunks, and carried it to a new secret location across Bombay. For nearly 3 months, they kept the spirit of resistance alive. Finally, on November 12th, 1942, exactly after 3 months, the trap had finally closed. Under immense pressure and surveillance, their radio technician was tracked down, and he was the one who revealed their secret studio for that day from where the broadcast was happening. It was in Parikwadi apartment in Girgaon. As the British police raided the building, Usha was live on air. She had just finished reporting the news and playing a speech, and was ending her broadcast with our national song, Vande Mataram. Suddenly, the police smashed through the doors, shouting at Usha to turn off the gramophone. Usha looked at them calmly and replied, "The record will not stop. This is our national song. Stand at attention." She allowed the song to play to its very last second, letting the officers place her in chains later. Usha was taken into custody to Eroda jail in Pune. For months, she endured intense interrogation, but despite continuous pressure, she refused to name a single co conspirator. She was later sentenced to 4 years of imprisonment and finally released in 1946 on the word of Dr. Morarji Desai. She did not step out as a broken prisoner, but as a national hero known to millions as a Radio Ben or Radio Sister. Though the secret Congress radio was there only for 3 months, it proved to be a vital lifeline of freedom struggle. It kept the Quit India movement alive and the people alert. Usha Mehta later described her time running this underground radio station as her finest moment. After India achieved independence in 1947, Usha chose quiet service over public office. She earned her PhD in Gandhian philosophy and taught political science at Mumbai University. She was honored with the Padma Vibhushan in 1998 for her extraordinary bravery. Please, can you show pic number 5? Dr. Usha Mehta passed away on August 11, 2000, leaving behind a timeless truth for generations to come. So here, let me leave you all with a thought that it doesn't take an army to shatter nation's silence. It just takes one person brave enough to find the right frequency. And if the truth is silenced, there will always be a single brave voice who can light up an entire nation. So, with this thought, I end my story. This is Usha being awarded the Padma Vibhushan. And can we just go to picture 6? So the primary takeaway that inspired me to take this story was that it proves a powerful truth that freedom isn't always won on the battlefield with weapons. Sometimes it is won by those brave enough to speak when everyone else is forced into silence. Thank you so much. So I hope you all understood the story of Dr. Usha Mehta and how she helped shape the Quit India movement. If she was not there, or if she would not have transmitted those news that was required to be, the movement would not have gained any momentum. So what is your primary takeaway from?
Yes, Gauri.